User access of center screens and data is controlled in three ways. First, by providing users a login and a password. Second, by assigning page navigation rights to users via user group permissioning. And third, by limiting the amount of data that can be viewed based on contract assignments. Center is a contract-based system, and contracts are assigned to user groups. Since users are assigned to user groups, the contract data access restrictions are, therefore, transferred to the users. We begin by navigating to the Administrative tab from the main menu. There we select Main Tables, and from the list of options listed, we select User Groups. We are prompted with the User Group search screen, where we can apply any combination of filters to narrow down our search and identify the user group we are interested in. If the user group we are interested in is one that we want to create, we select the New submenu option and navigate to the New User Group screen. We enter a unique name for the user group, preferably one that describes the purpose or use of a department to which user accounts will be assigned. We specify whether or not user access to Center through this user group will be typical, i.e., local users with potentially unrestricted access to Center modules, or custom, which will indicate users that will have controlled or limited navigation rights. Custom is mainly assigned to user groups that are created to group user accounts created for customers that are given a very restricted view of Center data. Finally, indicate whether or not the new user group will, by default, be automatically assigned to any new contracts as they are being created in Center. Indicate whether or not to have, by default, permission to access any new web pages as they are added to Center, and whether or not to have, by default, permission to any new special rights actions as they are added to Center. Special rights are a very specific list of actions such as allow user to delete a part order, allow user to approve POs valuing $2,000 or more, allow user to change contract remark, allow users to change contract special instructions, allow user to edit PO status, and allow user to edit status for closed service record. This list may be extended in the future, and selecting the checkbox labeled Assign Special Right by default, which will enable the user group to automatically receive permission to any new such actions. From the Search User Group screen, we can identify the new user group record we just created in the Select User Group screen. To the right of the user group name, we see two links, one called Assign Modules and another called Assign Users. The Assign Modules link takes us to the User Group Assign Module screen, where we can select the Center modules that we wish to restrict the user group to. This module assignment controls the number of tabs displayed within the top menu bar on virtually every screen in Center. The Assign Users link takes us to the Assign User Group User screen, where we can begin to assign to the user group actual user accounts previously created in Center. This assignment of user accounts to a user group enables the assigned users to inherit all the permissions given to the user group. Please note that a user may belong to more than one user group. Here we can select the Page Right submenu option to display the Edit User Group Page View Right screen. There are many pages in Center, and as such, we can select to view them by group or by module. From the drop-down list located at the top of the screen, select Administrative. The screen will refresh only to display the pages in Administrative module. The pages are listed in alphabetical order, and to the right of the page name column, we see two more columns. The first containing a link called User Groups, and the second containing a checkbox. The checkbox should be checked if we wish to allow the users assigned to this user group to be able to view the page to the left of the checkbox. A way to check or uncheck all boxes at once is provided at the top right of the screen. Once the desired checkboxes are set, we click the Save button at the bottom of the screen to save changes. The User Groups link is used to assign a single page to many user groups at once. Assigning pages to a user group means that all users assigned to that user group will be able to navigate for those pages, but it does not mean that they will be able to edit data displayed in those pages. To enable this, we must ensure that all data elements associated with a particular page are enabled. By default, all data elements associated with each page are enabled at the time the page has been created in Center. Therefore, if we wish to restrict users of a certain user group from being able to edit data displayed in a page, we must select the radio button to the left of the page name and click the Continue button located at the bottom of the screen. Doing so displays a list of data elements that can be controlled. To remove write permission on any one of these screens, simply uncheck the box to the right and click the Save button at the bottom of the screen. Going back to the Edit User Group screen, we can next select the Assign Contract submenu option to display the User Group Contract Assignment screen. This screen displays the user group we are currently in the process of setting permissions for, and below it we can see two lists. On the left is a list of available contracts in Center that can be assigned to the current user group, and on the right is a list of contracts that have already been assigned to the current user group. To assign a contract to this user group, we select it from the list on the left and then click the right arrow button to move it to the list on the right, and then click on the Save button located at the bottom of the screen. To unassign a contract, select it from the list on the left and click the left arrow button to move it back to the list on the left. Two more buttons are provided in the event that we wish to move all contracts from one list to the other. Now that we have covered user groups, let's review how user accounts are created and managed in Center. Select the Administrative tab from the main menu to display the administrative screen. From there, select Main Tables, and from the ensuing screen, select Users from the list of options displayed. In doing so, we will navigate to the Search for User screen, where we can apply any of the available filters to locate a user account. To create a new user account, select the New submenu option, which will display the new user screen. In addition to the obvious needed data, such as name, pager, email, login, password, etc., we see that we must select a user type. In Center, we have defined three types of users: employee, contract, and customer. Similar to the user group type custom, the customer type, or rather users of this type, will be impacted only when they try to navigate to a few very specific pages in Center. For example, the new Service Record screen under the Service Management module will appear differently to a user of type customer than for one with type employee. The new user account is assigned to a position and a department. It is important that these assignments are correctly done, as it may impact functionality in other areas of Center. The user account must be assigned to an existing user group, otherwise we will not be able to save the record. Similarly, a unique login name and password must be provided before being able to save. The password is saved as an encrypted value, and if the user forgets it, it must be reset to a temporary value and then changed by the user after logging into Center from a link provided at the top of virtually every screen. The status must be set to active in order to enable the user to log into Center. This completes the Center security demonstration. Thank you for your time and patience. For a copy of this transcript and other security-related documents, please visit the www.itgonline.com Document Control menu option, where documents can be read or downloaded in PDF format.